Salam everyone, this is Jay. What I wanted to really get into is just the Hajj experience that I had last year. So I'm not that young, well, not that old actually, say mid-20s, but the reason I bring this up is so many people my age want to go to America or Japan. This has nothing on them, right? I mean, they have nothing on this, which is Hajj, which is, visiting Medina and Mecca. It's something that you won't get. Like the thing that you'll get in these places, you won't get elsewhere. So when I went there, I went to Medina first. So we went straight to Medina, me and my mother dearest. And when we got there, it was just a surreal experience and just thinking about all the history that's been there. I mean, it was essentially the first city that openly embraced the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's a special thing. It is beautiful. It really is. I mean, but just remember when you look through all the concrete, when you look through all of that, you got to remember that this has only been recent developed, right? So when you say it's beautiful, remember that it hasn't always looked like this, even though it looks amazing now. What you'll need to remember is that the reason why it's sacred is that it's blessed, and the best way to feel that is to just feel that. So, I mean, Medina is made to be felt, not seen or, noticed like that. I suppose I had from going to Medina is just after Fajr. So we were there for a couple of days. I remember just praying Fajr, and I'd love to be outside the Prophet's mosque, sort of, but within the boundaries. So you'd pray there. After you pray, the air is just so pleasant. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, and you have just serenity around you. So I just, open the Quran, for example, and just read and just remember, just sort of, I took a second just to realize how amazing it was. And it's just something to be felt, right? As I was saying before, times I was there was to just, one of the first prostrations that I did at the Prophet's Mosque, I remember not wanting to get up, and just feeling so humbled to the point where I couldn't even make a dua. Couldn't make a coherent dua. I couldn't make a coherent prayer. So, I mean, it's like a lot of people have different experiences, and everybody's different in the way they experience them and experience such blessed lands. But that was, my experience. So you go, so amazing, the tranquility, the people. That's pretty much what I was talking about. Just sitting there, it was just one of my best memories. So after, we only stayed there about a couple of to go to the Haram, go to Mecca, right? Go to Hajj. So we donned our ihram, our two pieces of cloth, and then I remember thinking that these are the type of cloths that I'll be dressed in when I'm in my grave, and suddenly I'm wearing them now. It's almost like I'm an imposter, and because I don't know, you're supposed to be passed on. You're not supposed to really be alive when you're in these kind of cloths. So it's an opening experience just to think about that, and it does remind you of death, which is always a good thing. So obviously then we went, the first thing that we would go to is Mecca, and Mina, which is the encampments, which is pretty much all the camps and all the tents. One real thing about going to Mecca, when you first get into Mecca and you first see the Kaaba, there's nothing that can prepare you for it. You might have seen the Kaaba in in pictures, in videos, people may have described it to you, but you have not seen it. You have not seen it until you're there. And it's a good thing to look forward to. It's a good thing to anticipate because it's amazing. And there's not much you can think about or imagine. So wearing obviously the amazing thing, there is a lot of people there, and for that, look, when you first go there, I'd say that anyone, no matter where you are in life, just go. You don't need to think about whether you're ready for it or not, but you should think about going there with a lot of patience. You need to prepare yourself a lot of patience. Not even a lot of patience, you need to prepare yourself unlimited patience for this. It's something that will will try you time and time again, whether it's through illness, and you probably will get ill, whether it's through other people being rude to you because they've lost their patience, whether it's people cutting in front of you, or even just basic ideology conflicts. If you see someone that, to your understanding, isn't doing the right thing, and you want to chuck chairs at him, then it's something to be wary of. There as well, you got to understand that Islam and Hajj are not check the box items. Like, you've got to think about the best worship. One of for this is, a lot of people want to touch the Kaaba. That's what they want to do. It's a goal for them. They want to be able to come back from Hajj and say, I touched the Kaaba. But at what cost? That, and you can tell, you've already seen some of the pictures. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of your brothers and sisters that you may harm when you go to touch the Kaaba. So think about it wisely. You don't want to be doing wrong in an attempt to try to do right, if you know what I mean. And this gets compounded even further. Like, you have in touching the Kaaba that they will go through all these people and they will be brushed up against so many strange men. It is just for them to say, I touched the Kaaba. Just think about the best way for you guys to worship, right? Something as little as quiet contemplation in a corner, remembering Allah's majesty and praising Him, could arguably be better than harming your brothers and sisters and going through a crowd and touching the black rock. Allahu A'lam, but it's something for you guys to think. But apart from that, I mean, again, you will be tried, you'll be tested. There are things that will happen there that will be so hard. By the end of it, I mean, you'll think about how you'll never go to Hajj again, that you've done your Hajj, you've done your bit, because you're so ill and you're so fatigued that you don't want to go back. But you come back and you realize there is nothing to fear except Allah. It feels like when you finish Hajj, there is nothing you can't do. And there's nothing, again, that deserves your fear, that deserves your obedience than your Creator. And that's just an amazing thing. Go young. It is not worth, just as an advice from me, it's not worth going when you're older. When you're 65, 70, and not only would it be so hard for you physically, but how much of that Hajj is really going to be impacting your life? You'll be coming back, Allahu A'lam, but you might be living 5, 10, 20 more years, where on the other side of things, you could be coming back at the age of 25 and have 50 years of Hajj-inspired life to come back to. And that's worth it. That just is going to go through. And you'll never forget it. After a while, when you come back to your country, you'll feel like you're so far. Like, you were praying next to the Kaaba with so many Muslims behind you, millions upon millions, and then you'll go to a place where I live in Australia and think so many people are now praying. Everything on board. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.